Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today I am going to show you how to make Tattie Scones. Tattie Scones are potato scones and they're from Scotland. They are traditionally served at breakfast, but personally I like them any time of the day. They are easy, they are delicious, and they are gluten-free. This is also a collaboration, and today we are exploring British foods. So my collaborators are each going to bring you some recipe from somewhere in the UK for you to enjoy. There is a lot of delicious food that you can find in England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. So check out what my collaborators are offering you. Their links are in the video description below. Here you have 1 kilo of potatoes, and what I like to do is cut the larger ones in half. Then I have my steamer, and I'm going to put them in there and steam them for approximately 20 to 30 minutes. You want them to be soft. You need gluten-free flour mix, salt, and butter. This is about a cup and 3/4 or half of gluten-free flour mix, a teaspoon of salt. I'm checking the potatoes to make sure they're soft, and they are. You want them nice and soft. So Tattie scones are made in different ways. I'm going to show you the way I like to make them now, but that's not the way I was taught. So the way I was taught is you take mashed potatoes, you put in flour till they form a dough, then you take little balls, you roll them in your hands till they're round, you squish them, and you fry them. It's quick and easy, and it's a great way to use up leftover mashed potatoes. However, there are two things I don't like about this version. One is that because you add milk to your mashed potatoes, you have to add more flour to be able to form a dough. So they're much more floury in their taste. And two is they're fried. However, they are still great. So that's the quick and easy way to make Tattie scones. But what I'm showing you in this video is what I think is the best way to make Tattie scones. And that does not involve milk. It does not involve leftover mashed potatoes, and it does not involve frying. So let's check this out. Now that the potatoes have cooled, I have removed the skins. It's very easy to remove them when they're cooked. And with a potato masher, I start the mashing process. You could use a blender, but I'm fine with my masher. 1 tablespoon of butter or so. Doesn't matter if you add a bit more. Keep mashing until the potatoes are fully mashed. You can add a bit more butter as I just did. You really want to mash to mix in the butter well. Plus, you really want the potatoes to be in very tiny lumps or very smooth. I'm going to add half of the flour mixture to start and give it a good stir. It's going to take a while. You're going to have to mix it in thoroughly. Then I add the rest. And you want to keep mixing until you have a fully mixed dough. I added a tiny bit of water. You could add milk as well. And in the end, I decided to take my rings off, add a bit more butter, and use my hands. Because, hey, I love butter, and it's great with potatoes. So just keep mixing, getting all the flour that hides underneath until you have a nice ball of dough. I decided a bit more salt would be good as well. And now you can see it's really sticking together, and you actually have a dough. Things are ready to roll. And with the surface you're going to roll the dough out on, I'm using a cutting board. Spread some gluten-free flour, move it around. I like to get a bit on my roller as well. Then take a nice ball of dough, turn it into a ball, flatten it slightly, get a bit of flour on all the sides, and then roll it out. Now, it's really important when you're rolling that you roll in different directions because you want to form a circle and you want the thickness to be even. So don't apply too much pressure, just be patient and roll it out. Here I have a bowl. I'm going to cut a circle because that is the traditional shape for a Tattie scone. And then once I lift the bowl, I'm going to cut this larger circle into 4 sections to give your traditional Tattie scone shape of a piece of pie, like a piece of pie. I'm going to put it on my baking sheet because these are the ones I'm going to bake. And you can see it's really only about a 1/4 of an inch. It's not that thick. Some people like them a bit thicker. So make them the thickness that you want. And for these, I'm going to bake them. I bring the leftovers together, form them into a ball. I add a bit more of the fresh potato dough and I roll it out again. Now this time I'm going to use a tea mug and I'm going to make smaller circles because these are the Tattie Scones that I'm going to fry. And as you can see, they're about the same thickness. So heat a pan with some oil. I'm using sunflower oil. Let it get nice and hot and then put your scones in. They need about 1.5 minutes on the first side and then flip them over and cook them for another minute. And that's it. They are done. And for the Tattie Scones in the oven, you want to cook them at 400 for about 18 to 20 minutes and you want to flip them halfway through. It's that simple. So these ones from the oven will taste a bit different. Here we have the ones ready to go in the oven and they will be ready in 20 minutes. Fresh out of the oven. Doesn't that look amazing? They are so delicious and they are just amazing in their taste. It's delicate, but it's wonderful. Crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. As you can see, there's just a little bit of pull, which is what you want when you rip them apart. These are the ones from the fryer. They're also very good. I just prefer the oven ones, like I said. I'm using yellow potatoes because they have a good starch content, but you can really use any potato you like. And you can also freeze the Tattie Scones. You can put them in the fridge and have them the next day for the next day or two. I would recommend though, if you are not eating them fresh, then you do want to warm them in a gentle manner. So a few seconds in the microwave, maybe 10, not too long, depending on the quantity, because if you overheat them in the microwave, they will go tough. If you leave them in the oven too long, they will dry out. So just a nice, gentle, quick reheat and they will be delicious. Plus, gotta eat them with butter. They are traditionally served with warm butter on top. It's the best. I hope you like this recipe. It is so simple, so easy, and it's gluten-free. I mean, what more can you ask for? If you like this recipe, give me a like and leave me a comment. Have you ever tried Scottish Tattie Scones? And check out the videos from my collaborators, please. They are all great cooks from around the world. They will bring you something interesting. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. Support me as I am doing my best to bring you delicious, different, wonderful gluten-free recipes for those who can't eat gluten, for those who choose not to eat gluten. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.